something to make you not like me. You might catch feelings and you might want to fight me, but I don't really care. I'ma say it anyway. Why most committed guys seem soft and gay. I'm not saying all, but a large amount. Have you ever heard the words that come out of their mouth? Yeah, they cuss like a sailor, but they follow my eye. They carry oaks and wear makeup and thinking it's hot. I think they need to stop. This is a new era. I wonder if the purpose of a war mascara. That probably was a death mask misunderstood. Don't let the B-boys get them up in the hood. Why NOI? Stop patrolling the block. We get shot by the cops and we calling the cops. Come on, y'all was on another level. The black man was God, the white man the devil, then the white man. Or better yet, the European and the Mars and the bean pies are sold by Koreans. I'm talking what I'm saying. I'm just a reporter. How you call a woman to be and you got a daughter. Talking about the issue, the demonized women and choose Esau over brothers and women. Probably timid, soft, and scared to fight. Yelling and wearing spikes, trying to fake me out right. But you can't fool me, cause you make a little noise. Cause deep inside, y'all some scared little boys. If you really wanna ride, let's take it to the beach. Get revenge on our people killed by the police. Yeah, right. You ain't busting the grave. It appears that you fear and you in love with hate. Correct me if I'm wrong, we might all get along. European psychology got us all gone. You think we divided because I wear fez and she wear funk and he wear dreads, but the vision don't start there, it starts in the head. I'm here to wake you up and get you out of the bed. We all to get you out of the bed. I'm here to spread love to get you out of the bed. Can y'all hear me? The vision don't start there, it starts in the head. I'm here to spread love and get you out the bed. Talk to him, Tahaka Bay. Salute, family. Let's talk to him. Can you hear me? Check one. Hey. Hey! 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 I think we divided because I wear fans. This don't start, then it starts in the head. Cause she wears look and she got dreads. Boys need to wake up too, so wake up. So we can get together, do what we gotta do. We ain't done much since the prophet left. More standing all along, still in this mess. Haven't built the town, the hold us down. Paperwork can't be us. We looking like clowns. Not a Benjamin Temple. Claim we follow the prophet, but I follow the prophet. I understand logic. People in the temple, time to hit the streets. Everybody do their part of being getting relief. The murder rate can be more than just all crazy. Dope fiends, OD in the hood on the daily. Weed waste with chemicals, you drink and serve. We fighting over information, we got some nerve. This ain't if we conscious, we might know a little something, but we just run because we haven't done nothing. We over West, what's up with you? West Fargo in the building. Man, we about to talk about it tonight. I'm feeling good, family. I'm feeling good. Man, y'all ready? Let's start the show. That's right. Let's go. I'll be that more you gon' remember. Yeah. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. I'll be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay, front line to the law, call my number. I'll be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember, that's right. I'll be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay, front line to the law, call my number. You a friend of the Lord, then you a friend of mine. I was told to watch my enemies, now hold my line. Those who speak against the prophet, they speak against me. And I speak about the prophet over True Ali. Who was the first to remind you and bind you back? To a rock on the mountains, Mississippi and Quebec. Told you wasn't black, proving the straight fact. You tripping on trust, you need to be tripping on that. Now here we go again, acting like you a slave. The same people talk European how to pay. And looking at women by European hair. The love for self, but do the men really care? Have love, but they got a love for sure. Whole generation take the pills, weed and serve. Yeah, they love no yachty, Tucci, Gucci, Kodak, Amigos, Bras, Lucid. But when the love for the woman look like your lover, I guess they say it's all black when it's under the cover. Now cypher, I'll be that boy you gon' remember. remember, that's right. I be that boy you gon' remember. To Arthur Bay, front line to the law. I be that boy you gon' remember. I'ma be that boy you gon' remember. That's right. I be that boy you gon' remember. To Arthur Bay. Peace and love, family. Welcome to another edition of Moorish World TV. I gotta make sure that y'all can hear me. Can you hear me? Check one, check two. Can you hear me? We're gonna get right into this, family. How y'all doing? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Press one if you can hear me. I want to make sure that you can hear me good. Let me turn my phone up, make sure y'all can hear me today. That means I got to make sure you can hear me. Oh, man, fam, this is going to be a beautiful presentation tonight. You know what I'm saying? Because what that happened was, family, make sure y'all can hear me. Check one, check two. Can you hear me? We're going to get right into this. Do I sound like I'm talking too loud? Can y'all hear me? I'm sounding good? Can y'all hear me? All right. Check, check, check. Check, check, check. All right, everybody can hear me, family. Family, I want to welcome you to another edition of Moorish World TV, family. I am your host, Brother Tahaka Bay, and I'm going to give you the truth, even if it gives you life. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you the truth, even if it gives you life, family. Y'all ain't going to like this show. Many may have to leave mid-show. I'm telling you, many might have to step off with Mickey. I mean, many might have to leave mid-show because I'm going to tell you the truth today. You know what I'm saying? You say you want the truth, right? Let me ask you a question, family. Do we really want the truth? Do we really want the truth? Let me like for real. If somebody was to say, you know what? Today, I'm going to tell you the uncut truth. And all the truth that you know about yourself, they was to tell it to you, but you thought it was your big secret. Many times when that happens, people get mad at the messenger and never receive the message. And us as a group of people, we don't like the truth. Like, for example, when Kanye West made that statement, right? When Kanye West made that statement about slavery, to a degree, I agreed with him. To a degree, I'd agree with him. And this is what I'm saying. When you look at slavery, for an example, right? And you look at somebody on a plantation, we got the European outnumbered at least 20-1 on some plantations. So if they got 5 family members, they might got 60 to 100 slaves on them big demonstrations. And then on the smaller one, they got a mother, father, and a son and a daughter. And they still got about 20 slaves. What in the world possessed 20 slaves to say, you know what? I'm going to do this year after year after year after year after year after year. You follow me? Now listen, honor to our ancestors. Without a doubt or contradiction. But we need to get into the mentality. What made them say, you know what? Win, lose, or draw, I'm going out there and I'm going to pick this cotton. I'm going out there, I'm going to raise these babies. I'm going out there and I'm going to do everything that I'm told to do. You follow me? I like what Lance said. He said the slaveholders was backed by the military. Correct. However, what was in our psyche to make us not buck? And when I mean buck, I mean said we ain't going for it.
Why are we so scared to use or to lose this thing we call life? We believe that this life that we have is all the life we have. However, when that which is in us flees this body, that remains perfect. So why is it that we act like this physical life is the only life we have? Do we understand that life is bigger than this physical experience? Have we gotten there yet? Have we gotten there yet? That life is bigger than this physical experience. In other words, Marcus Garvey made a statement. He said, basically, you can do what you want to me. I'm going to come back in the whirlwind. See, he knew that there was more to it than that moment in time. Are we still stuck there? Why do we get mad because a European may say some things that we think he should not be saying? You know what I mean? What you call the so-called white man, or some people call the white man. Why can he say things that would offend you and you think that he should not be able to say it? You ever think about that? Listen, I have deep thoughts, family. Let me give a shout out to all of those who asking for the Moorish information. Just for you, I'm going to be doing some pre-recorded videos and uploading some Moorish information here on Moorish World TV. I said at one time I wasn't going to do that until the spring. But I'm going to do some pre-recorded videos, and I'm going to talk about this claiming your nationality, proclaiming your nationality. I'm going to do awesome videos for those who have been reaching out for me. The videos have been, the requests have been flooding in, asking about what this Moorish thing is all about, proclaiming your nationality. So I'm going to do some short videos, 15 or 20 minutes, twice or three times a week, and to cover some Moorish topics, so those who watch the channel can get in the know what this Moorish thing is all about. But on the flip note, on the flip side, why is it when Trump say things that we feel is racist or prejudice or whatever you choose to call it, bigotry or whatever you want to call it today, why does it bother us so much? Why does it bother us so much? Don't we have a over 2,000 year track record with the Romans, the Greeks of European persuasion? But don't we have over a 2,000 year track record? Don't we supposed to at this point understand how the game is being played? And we supposed to understand the part that we supposed to play in order to move the pieces around the board? Have we figured that out yet? Huh? Have we figured it out yet? That, listen, this show here is about exactly what I said. This show here is about when Europeans keep it funky. And we're going to examine one European that I came across, and he's most likely watching the show tonight, that I came across. He just kept it real funky. He kept it funky. He kept it a bean. He kept it a buck. Now, many people are going to be offended. You know what I'm saying? But I'm telling you right now, family, there should be no way humanly possible. There should be no way humanly possible at this stage in the game that anyone could be able to surprise you about any racial epithets or overtones. There's no way. It's like we are begging this European to be something that he can't be or something that he refused to be. Like, come on now. And then listen, even when you look at this COVID demonstration, right? We talk about, man, I ain't taking the shot. I ain't taking the shot. Just don't take the shot. But guess what you up against when you don't take the shot? Now you can't go in their grocery stores because you haven't built a grocery store for yourself. Now you can't go in that public school that your tax dollars pay for because you don't have a representative to say what your dollars do. This is real conversation tonight. You don't have a conversation. You don't have a seat at the table because you got some fools talk about, man, politics. Don't worry about politics. Don't worry about politics. Let me tell you something. We need somebody in economics. We need somebody in sociologics, psychologics, politics, and every other tick that exists in the United States of America and across the world. But we listen to these crazy people. Man, politics, pile of this, pile of that. We need somebody everywhere. That's right, Mel. Talking about, man, I ain't taking the shot. But then you're going to beg to go into St. Agnes. I'm a Muslim, but forced to go to St. Agnes, forced to go to Mercy Hospital, forced to go to Christian or Jewish hospitals. You see the psychology of us? You see the psychology of us? And the last thing we should be worried about is what somebody say out of their mouth about you as a racial group or a nationality. That should be the last thing you should be worried about. Your whole focus should be about, man, listen, if they was to shut the store down, how do me and my family eat? Because, hey, we don't own much. This is why we get mad. This is why we get mad at Trump. We get mad at Trump because we expect Trump to do something for us, when in fact, we should have been doing something for ourselves. Don't get mad at Trump. Don't get mad at these Europeans. What I'm trying to tell you, family, you here on Moorish World TV, I don't care if you consider yourself of European descent. Let me explain something to you. I really invite the commentary or the content that you bring to the conversation that support your idea that you are superior. I invite that. Let me tell you why. Wait till you see these videos that I'm about to post in a minute. I invite that because we as a group of people, we need to be challenged until we get so tired that we'll be forced to work together. Yeah. When we need, man, listen. We are so stubborn and stiff-necked. We need to see our young babies dressing like they're 21 years old and feel hurt. This is how bad it's gotten. Oh, look at baby girl right there. Man, she got on makeup. Was she about 8 years old? Yep, that's what it is. What you gonna do? That's right, the Mercers. What you gonna do? Yep, that's what she doing. Oh man, Miss Johnson daughter, man, she ain't but 17. Why they let her up in there stripping? Yep. Now what you gonna do about it? Yep. Man, what's the name? Got shot and da-da-da. Yep. Now what you gonna do about it? And then when you look at this Grandmaster J fiasco that doesn't even move the meter as it relates to mental liberation, more or less physical liberation, it's a joke. It's a big joke. And the joke is on us. Because at any given moment, man, I can't wait. Wait till you see these videos. because this European here, he telling you how it is. You ain't got to like it. You ain't got to agree with it 100%. But guess what you got to do? You better acknowledge it. Let me pull one up real quick. You better acknowledge it. Here we go. Let's try this one. Let me know if you can't hear it. This serious business tonight, family. Serious business. Everybody need to share this. And pardon the language.
Regardless of what anybody says, I'm a racist because I have white skin, not because of what I believe or disbelieve. I really don't hate anybody. Anybody who's willing to get along with me, I'm willing to get along with them, regardless of it. Now, believe it or not, regardless of what anybody says, I'm a racist because I have white skin, not because of what I believe or disbelieve. I really don't hate anybody. Anybody who's willing to get along with me, I'm willing to get along with them, regardless of who they are. But when you attack my race, I come right back at you. And I feel like I have a right to have pride in my race, regardless of what anybody else. I don't let anybody else dictate what I do. That's what you forget about white men. We came over here and took this fucking workplace. We kicked some ass to do it. Because that's what we do. We don't take no shit. And we're going to do what we want to do. And anybody that can't deal with that, you're in the wrong place. You can sit here and imagine a world where you're going to be overruling everybody else somehow, some way. This little small percentage is somehow going to just overshift all these others, but it isn't going to happen. Now, believe it or not, regardless of what anybody says, I'm a racist because I have white skin, not because of what I believe or disbelieve. I really don't hate anybody. Anybody who's willing to get along with me, I'm willing to get along with them, regardless of who they are. But when you attack my race, I come right back at you. And I feel like I have a right to have pride in my race, regardless of what anybody else. I don't let anybody else dictate what I do. That's what you forget about white men. We came over here and took this fucking workplace. We kicked some ass to do it, because that's what we do. We don't take no shit, and we're going to do what we want to do. And anybody that can't deal with that, you're in the wrong place. You can sit here and imagine a world where you're going to be overruling everybody else somehow, some way. This little small percentage is somehow going to just overshift all these others, but it isn't going to happen. And now you've lost all the Latino support because you're trying to destroy the traditional America that they fucking sacrificed everything they had to come here for. So it is 87%.
All right, hold up.
13%, in which 7 point.
Hold up. Now the rest of them, hold up. Now the rest of them, hold up 1 second. The rest of them, I got it where you all be able to hear it. But what he's saying is this. Let me see if I can just play it real quick.
Now, believe it or not, regardless of what anybody says, I'm a racist because I have white skin, not because of what I believe or disbelieve. I really don't hate anybody. Anybody who's willing to get along with me, I'm willing to get along with them, regardless of who they are. But when you attack my race, I come right back at you. And I feel like I have a right to have pride in my race, regardless of what anybody else. I don't let anybody else dictate what I do. That's what you forget about white men. We came over here and took this fucking workplace. We kicked some ass to do it.
So listen.
That's what
I hold up.
We don't take no shit, and we're going to do what we want to.
Can y'all hear me? Let me say this. I gotta have the reverb on so it doesn't get strike. But what he said was this. Hold up 1 second. Number 2. What he said was this. What he said was this. He says he is a racist because he has white skin. He's saying that because you, so-called black people, is going to accuse him of being racist anyway. So it is what it is. He went on to say that, let me hold up 1 second. I don't want to misquote him too bad.
Anybody that can't deal with that, because that's what we kicked some ass.
He said, basically saying him and his forefathers came over here and took this place. Basically, him and his forefathers, he says, came here and took America. And they kicked some ass in doing it. Now deal with it. That's what he said. Is he lying? That's what he said. If you want to hear it for yourself, I'll put the link to the video and you can go to his channel. His channel is called The Blue-Eyed Devil. And his commentary is raw like that. But let me ask you a question. He said they came over here, took it. They kicked some butt and took it. What you guys say about that? What you guys say about that? What you guys say about that? Y'all think y'all gangsters because y'all robbed somebody for some tennis shoes? Y'all think y'all gangsters because y'all robbed somebody back in the day for a little bit of weed, a little bit of coke? No. Robbed the bank, robbed the store. He said we came over here and took it. They took a whole landmass. You follow me? They took a whole landmass. That's what he's saying. They took a whole landmass. And now, what you gonna do about it? Oh, he ain't finished yet. He ain't finished yet. Listen, somebody say they befriended and then they took it. Let me tell you something. Whether they befriended, whether they played mental games, whatever they did, he calling a spade on this one. We could tell, oh, he tricked us. How you being tricked? You know, in the hood, we be like, man, you let him play you. You let him play you. I'm going to put the link up in a minute. You understand what I'm saying? This is the real talk right here. Listen, the reason why I'm doing this is because I want you to see that you do have some people out there that's going to tell it like it is, whether you like it or not. Whether you like it or not. But now what you going to do about it? You see what I'm saying? What you going to do about it? And I don't mean nothing. That's a rhetorical question. I'm not asking anybody to go out there and do anything to anybody from a physical perspective. But what you going to do about your mind? Because something in your mind allowed one to come in and convince you that their water was wetter than yours. They convinced you that their heaven was better than the heaven that you was living in. They came and convinced you that their air was full of more oxygen than yours, when it's all the same in the first place. What happened to your mind to allow one to come as a minority and conquer the majority? What happened to your mind is the point. Let me bring up some more. Now, these you will hear.
Alabama. So you always talk about this power. We're going to get it. This country is ran by predominantly white people. It always has been. Europeans came here. We did, and we took this fucking land. And you can say whatever you want to about how we did it. I don't give a shit. We took it. You didn't take it. It's not yours. And you were a very small percentage. Where do you know, what country do you know where the smallest majority of a population is going to decide for the rest of us the way things are going to be? You know what I'm saying? You're in a place where there's a very small percentage, 6.6% black men in America. And you're telling us how you're going to kick all our asses. Well, we're sitting here waiting. Damn, sure as fuck ain't happening. You know why? It's impossible.
Y'all hear that? Y'all hear that? Oh, y'all think it's a game? Y'all think it's a game? Let me tell you something, family. This is how the majority of the power brokers think from a political standpoint, from a social standpoint, and from an economical standpoint. I don't care whether he's not European or not. You know what I mean? Whether he's not European or not, that doesn't even make sense. Who cares? He says he's European. He says those are his people. He says they took it. Who cares? That ain't the point. Whether he's embellishing numbers, listen to the psyche. Listen to the psyche. Whether he's embellishing numbers is neither here nor there. Whether he's European pure blood or not is neither here or there. Listen to the psyche. And K. Hall say he's pumping himself up. No. This is the mentality that exists amongst us. Do you understand this? This is the mentality. He's only expressing it. He's only expressing it. Listen to me, family. This show is about this European called the Blue-Eyed Devil representing a thought. And this thought is the thought of the people that will not tell you what they really think. I'm not knocking them for it. Listen, let me get my other screen up and running. I'm not knocking them for it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not knocking them for it. But what I want to do for you is I want you to understand that this is the thought. This is the thought. And we sitting around, playing around, watching. We sitting around, playing around, arguing about Cardi B. You understand what I'm saying? We need to get right. You understand? So family, I don't want, somebody said, don't lose focus. That don't lose focus. Watch the show. Listen to what I'm saying. Because this is the thought that is in the White House. This is the thought that is amongst the elder Europeans. This is the thought. You can't hide from that. You can't hide from that. Now, just because this guy called himself the Blue-Eyed Devil express it, don't get mad at the messenger. Don't get mad at the messenger. How you gonna get mad at the messenger? He's bringing a message of realness that you should be like, okay, this how we doing this. It's just like if we was balling, you know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden, you know what I mean? The referee is letting you get hacked up all the time. At some point, you're going to be like, man, that's how we doing this. You're going to start hacking too. You're going to start getting in the hole. Man, all right, man. This how we playing this game? Like Zenzuna said, 6,000 years. 6,000 years. 6,000 years. And we still wonder why? Exactly. If that's the case, why even address us? Listen, again, this show is all about the mentality that exists. And while and I love a debate like anybody else, but I don't hate nobody. You know what I'm saying? But when we take a thing like NFAC serious, that stuff is a joke, man. Do you understand this is a joke? Do you understand that? Hold up. Let me play another video.
But let me just break it down to you like this. Let me tell you something that you don't think about. This is something that people tend to overlook. When you talk about coming after white people, let me tell you what that means. Let me tell you why white people dominate this planet, okay? Russia, they're white. Australia, they're white. Europe, the largest continent in the world, all over Germany, Berlin, Switzerland, all white. We live in a planet, not just a country. We live on a planet that is predominantly white people. So when you talk about you're going to get rid of this white person, white people are going to pay. No, we're not. You're a small, you are 13 people standing in a room with 87 people that are not you, telling that 87 people that you're going to kick their ass. That's what this is. And we know how that's going to turn out. If there was any way that you could overturn or change things in this country, you'd have done it. But the reason you haven't done it, you are severely outnumbered.
Now you see that? You see that? Listen to this. The thing in a nutshell is we are not severely outnumbered. The thing is that we are out unified. That's it. That we're not severely outnumbered. For the European, is definitely the minority. But to his point, he said that the quote unquote white man is in Australia and in Europe and in these. But what he is naming is the power structure. He's naming the power structure that is owned, operated, or governed by Europeans. So intersect the number with those who are in power and those who have the artillery to sustain their power. You feel what I'm saying? Understand what he's saying. His facts are not all wrong. They're a little bit discombobulated. What he's really saying is, and I'm going to say his words for him, he's saying that we control the earth. See, we thinking about numbers because he said numbers, but every place that he has named, that's where they are in control. That's where they have the power, and that's where they are strategically set up in order to maintain power and control. Like, again, don't get mad at him. That turns you back into a slave. Use your mental capacity. Use your mental capacity to understand what is really being said here. You are boxed in, people. You are boxed in. And this is the reason why from day one, I knew that Grandmaster Jay was a joke. I knew that NFAC was a joke. Because at the end of the day, this is going to take a Hannibal type demonstration. This is going to take a Troy type demonstration. This ain't the regular conquering. This ain't the regular oppression. This is not the regular taking over and taking control and maintaining dominance. This is real deal here. So while you got these crazy Moors, somebody asked me today, and I hope you're watching tonight. Somebody said, I want to proclaim my nationality. And where's the paperwork? What paperwork? Let me tell you, family, if you think for 1 minute that a piece of paper is going to free you, you are sadly mistaken. If you are some internet type Moor and you thinking that you are going to file a piece of paper with the same people that have struggled to maintain dominance for over 6,000 years, then you are a fool. And any person that teach you that is a fool right on too. I'm telling you now, I'm a Moorish American. There is no paperwork that I need to file with any municipality to put him on notice. The way that you put somebody on notice, you unite, you build something, you build infrastructure, you build a plan, and you never let your plan stop at one generation. You never let your plan stop at one generation. And you never talk about your plan. You never talk about your plan. This is why people cannot even confront me about Moorish science. They don't know what I know. I don't follow none of that nonsense that people will look up. Many of y'all may have been looking up Moors since you have tuned into Moorish World TV. Many of y'all. And I guarantee you they came up with the most kooky stuff, and I will invite you on the show to ask me about it so I can bring the correction. But I'm telling you, you would never hear me talk. My theory is, my fact is, history is on my side. Every time a people were liberated. Let me explain this to you, family. Maybe let's go into a history lesson real quick. One thing that was so powerful about the Moors of North Africa, and the Moors, whether people like it or not, the Moors was the last stronghold of the African people. Like it or not, the Moors was the last stronghold of all melanated people. Anybody want to test the information? The Moors was. The Moors was the last stronghold. It is what it is. Yeah, we did some. Listen, let's not fake and act like that the Moors did not participate in some foolery. The reason why we find ourselves in the condition that we in is because we went astray. That's it. That's all. The only time people lose their hold is when they go astray, they become arrogant, and they start doing things that was outside the scope of the plan that was initiated in order for the conquering to take place in the first place. We went astray. It's the same thing. It's a universal principle. If y'all some street guys, you know in the dope game, if you're standing on the corner long enough, somebody is going to knock you off at some point in time, whether it's the feds or the local police or the stick-up boys. At one day, your day will come. If you're in the corporate office, let me tell you something. Montgomery Ward used to be the big huncho on the block one time. Walmart is now. You understand what I'm saying? The moment that you are not able to adjust and move with time, and you start to losing the principle of what you establish yourself on, you are out. You are on your way out the door. You are on your way out the door. You know what I'm saying? Now, let me just say this, family. And so the reason why the Moors was so highlighted in history, regardless of what people say, the reason why they were so highlighted in history is because in North Africa, right? In North Africa, what happened is that the Romans had conquered in first century AD and BC time. They had conquered the Mediterranean. You see what I'm saying? They had conquered all up through North Africa. They had conquered all up through Spain. The Greeks and the Romans wasn't playing. And they had maintained power for so long in that area that many of the African tribes probably thought that they would never, ever be able to have a stronghold in those areas, because before the European began to expand, the Africans had already conquered Europe. They had already conquered Europe long time ago. The Moors are everywhere throughout Europe. You follow what I'm saying? But at some point, little pockets of Europeans start pushing people back into Africa. And for thousands of years, they controlled North Africa. They controlled what is now known as Algeria, Tunis, Tripoli, and all of that. That was Mauritania before they came in. So here we go. Here we go. The Romans I'm talking about was European. I'm not talking about, we're not going to play funny games. The Romans I'm talking about was Europeans. And so the thing is that once the fall of the Byzantine Empire in Turkey, where in Constantinople, once the fall of the Byzantine Empire, at that point they begin to shrink in power. You know what I'm saying? The providences is beginning to break up. But let me get to my point real quick. The point that I'm making is that the Moors, Hannibal of Carthage, was able to take elephants over the Alps and conquer, which was Sicily, which was Italy. He was able to do that with elephants. You follow what I'm saying? And then followed up the Moors in 700 AD. Hey, and the Moors in 700 AD, they were able to go up in there and really finish up some of the work. You follow what I'm saying? And one of the reasons of the conquering, it was because, you know, you had the Black Plague. You had a lot of things that could overflow into the motherland. And so a lot of the conquering wasn't about, that's right, 711 AD. A lot of the conquering wasn't about servitude. It wasn't about trying to make somebody submissive. A lot of the conquering came from our people, was to deter the diseases from coming into Africa. You know what I'm saying? That's what it was all about, to civilize these people. So Moors get a bad rap when they say, y'all civilize them, y'all civilize. Well, if we didn't, they would have ruined the whole planet with diseases, pestilence, germs, and everything else. So the Moors civilized them to the level, not only to a 6-degree level, they civilized them in order for them to be able to dwell amongst humanity and not extinguish humanity. This is the fact of the matter. This is the fact of the matter. And it was a great phenomenon to the world. Now, even like today, where you have the little Kims wearing blonde hair, your little cousin wearing blonde hair, your little cousin getting green contacts. Well, there was a time when the Europeans was trying to imitate us, the Moors. There was a time in history when they was imitating us. Let me give you an example. I'm going to give you an example. I remember one time I was in Chicago, right? And an old Moor told me, he says, because I had on some jeans, and you know, I wear t-shirts, I wear the snapback, whatever. And this was during convention time. And they had on, you know, the Moorish garbs and the fez on, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so I walked into the meeting. I mean, I had my jacket on with the Hawker Bay on it, fitted hat, whatever I had on. And he said, brother, what are you doing? Brother, you walking up in here with those Western garbs on. That's what he said to me. He said, you walking up here with that Western garbs on. And he was decked out in the desert garbs. I call them desert garbs because they ain't got nothing to do with religion. That's a custom. And I said to the brother, this. I said, brother, what is, brother said, bring Duke of Tears on here. He like to be stroked. Duke of Tears like to stroke people. Duke of Tears, he don't want to come on here. Duke of Tears don't want to come on here. Not talking no Moorish. Not come on here. I love Duke of Tears, but he don't want to come on here. Not talking no Moorish. You know what I mean? You bought something from Duke of Tears. You bought something from Duke of Tears. He sells stuff too. You bought some nationality from him? Stop playing. Hold up. Somebody was trying to call me, look like. You bought some nationality from Duke of Tears. Huh? You keep putting it in the chat. Bring Duke of Tears. Duke of Tears don't want to come on here. We ain't on that no more. We ain't on romanticizing history no more. Because you're acting like a Roman when you romanticize history. That's all these guys do. Duke of Tears, my man. But I tell him straight up, brother, you romanticizing history and ain't making no progress. Period, point blank. That's it. But the point that I'm making is this. So when the European was able to push the Moors back into Africa, when he was able to do that, that was a great feat. This is how the Moors of North Africa was able to make their stamp in history. And there's another thing. Majority of you are descendants of Moors because once they was able to push the Moors back into Africa, and those that was able to stay, they was turned into slaves. And then the Portuguese slave trade began to target North Africans. The northwest and southwestern shores of Africa was targeted by the Pope and the Portuguese. What am I saying? Whether you like it or not, slavery in America was intentional. It was diabolical. You see what I'm saying? It was intentional, it was diabolical, and it was meant to be brutal because it was revenge. Because it was revenge. You understand what I'm saying? Understand, family. I know you probably don't know this part of the story. It was revenge. It was revenge from when the Moors went up in Spain. You follow me? When the Moors conquered Spain, yep, they did the same thing that everybody do. They started messing with the European women, started having the mixed children. They did the same thing that everybody do. You see, I'm a realist. You know what I'm saying? Our forefathers slipped up, dropped the ball. That's what put us in the position that we're in. But now it's time for us to awaken and pick the ball up. And because as I show you the mentality of the power brokers, that for this conversation we will call the lion, and we will call you the lamb. See, this is the thing, man. We always, our people always have a way of trying to run from truth. You see what I'm saying? We always got a way to run from truth. It's like when a person would say, well, man, the Moors enslaved Africans. That's a stupid, crazy, silly analogy. Because Moors are African. The original Moors are African. That's like saying, the Ashanti enslaved Africans, the Igbos enslaved Africans. Okay, they are African. What is wrong with you? Although the Moors, because they were seafaring people, they was not only African, they were also indigenous to every part of the globe because they went everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Somebody say, why would they enslave themselves? Hey, why would somebody make songs about killing each other every day on the radio? Why would a so-called black-owned radio station play songs about degradation all day, every day? Go into any city. Kathy Hughes owned Radio 1, and in every major city, that's all they play is songs of degradation. So to ask us, why would they enslave themselves? Let's answer that question today. Let's answer that question today. Why would a person of our complexion, of our struggle, of our experience, own a radio station and just allow music of degradation to be played throughout the airwaves? But then talk about it's Black History Month. It's Black History Month. And now, we need to respect our ancestors. Like, okay, here we go. So someone said, what's that have to do with what we need to do now? What we need to do now is to acknowledge what's happening now. See, you got to stay focused. You got to, shorty love, you got to stay focused. Stay focused. Stay with me, shorty love. Stay with me. You have to stay focused. What that has to do with what we have to do now, I'm trying to get you to understand with this next clip that I'm going to show you is that there's a mentality that has no room for failure. Has no room. So it's like, listen, you have everything at your disposal. Look at this. The Moors helped the Belgian butcher to dispose. He says the Moors helped the Belgian butcher Leopold. This is a guy that is uneducated. He probably never picked up a book in his life. Solo 5000 probably have never picked up a book in his life since The Little Train That Could. Do you see this? He says that the Moors helped the Belgian butcher Leopold. You see that? You see that? Listen to this. This is how I smack intellectual disabled people around. Watch this. Leopold was in the Congo. The Congo is south of North Africa. The people of the Congo are known as the Congolese. The people of the Congo are known as Congolese. So when the migration patterns happened from the east, you had people that went north, which is North Africa. You had some that went south, which would be the Congo. All right. So what King Leopold did, he took the people out of the population of the Congolese. And the people out of the population of the Congolese, is more closely related to modern day Egyptians, or to, not the modern day, to the ancient Egyptians, more so than they are related to the people of North Africa. So if you want to say that the Moors helped Belgium butcher Leopold, nope, you better change it. The ancient Kemites was forced into Leopold's army. Because the Congolese, if you study the migration pattern, they came out of Upper and Lower Egypt. So who would them people be? They wouldn't be the Moors. Not the Moors that we know. They wouldn't be the Moors that we know. Now, when you look at Cryptonomics, says North Africa is Arabs and Ish. No, before the Arabs came, there was a stronghold of tribal people called the Maori tribe. Hence, that's where you get the term Moor from. The Moor predates the Arab. You get the Maori tribe. The Maori tribe was there when the first Roman came there, or the first Greek came there, and he said that the people were calling themselves the Maori people. So the Maori tribe became the dominant tribe, and this is where you get Mauritania, ancient Mauritania, not modern Mauritania, ancient Mauritania, extended and from Egypt all the way around down towards Liberia, Nigeria, and everything. You understand what I'm saying, family? See, this is the thing. Most people have allowed the European to chop, screw, and remix our history. If you only knew that 80 to 90% of those that was bought from the shores of Africa and were put into slavery, you write 100 cryptonomics, those that was put into slavery, those came out the bloodline of the Maori tribe. Because the Maori tribe was so extensive, and not only was it extensive, they controlled so much territory. So even from a political standpoint, it's just like if you come to America and you become a citizen of America, you become an American by allegiance. So any territory that was a part of the Moroccan Empire or Mauritania and northwest, southwestern shores of Africa, you see what I'm saying? Off the top, they were considered Moors. And this is why you see Moor so much in history. And this is why people say Moor mean black. No, Moor meant Westerner, those who went west. And they went from the east to the west. But that's another, was there a language, the Moor tribe? No, because the Maori tribe consists of a conglomerate. So there's many different languages. When you really understand Africa and the people there, when you, Solo 500, that's my man. See, you made me go, man, Solo, hold up, man. Solo said, I was just mimicking the trolls, but keep teaching. If you had to use that, for example, brother, bless your heart. Solo, man, you made me do all that, Solo. I thought you was SETI. Y'all see what Solo made me do, man. Everybody get Solo a hand. You got me, Solo. You got me. Solo. That was a low blow. So someone said, what was the language of the Maori tribe? The Maori tribe, just like every other tribe, they got different language, different dialects, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I'm saying? Like the Amazigh today, you know, they have different language, different tribe. The Amazigh is the language of North Africa. You got me, brother. I thought you was coming for me, man. You know, they be coming for the Moors, man. They be coming for them. See, many people think I'm goofy and they don't want a history lesson, man. You got me. Solo 5,000. You got me. But anyway, so let me get back to Rain elbow cough. But let me get back to what I was saying. So at the end of the day, family, when the European, by the way of Spain, was able to push the Moors back, man, that was the greatest feat in history. That was the greatest feat in history, because in reality, it was a freak of nature that the Moors was able to dominate these strongholds that the European had for a few thousand of years. You follow what I'm saying? And even to this day, and I'm not trying to proselytize to nobody, do what you do. Even till this day, people do not want people to know of their history. You see what I'm saying? They do not want them to know of their history, because when you know of the history of the conquering of the Moors, you might try it again. When you know the military strategy of Hannibal, you might try it again. When you know the military strategy of conquering Castile, when you know the military strategy of conquering Valencia, or when you know how to conquer Granada, you might try it again. So we cannot allow you to understand that. The only solution to European tyranny, the only solution, you got to fix your mind first. First thing, you got to fix your mind. You got to remove the emotions out the equation. That's number one. Then you can think. If you can move the emotions out the equation, then we can go somewhere. 332 say, I want to fight this beast here. You're going to be fighting by yourself. I'll be fighting with you, but we're going to be by ourselves. The first thing that we got to do as a people, somebody block Fraser. Who blocked Fraser? The first thing that we got to do as a people is we got to remove the emotions. This is why I said, about Delta. This is why I could tell that Grandmaster Jay wasn't right, because they pull on people emotional heartstrings. And when you can pull on people emotional heartstrings, the preacher mastered it. He mastered it. You can get their money. You can even get their life if you can pull on their emotional heartstrings. And as long as we are emotional, reactive people, we ain't going nowhere. Because let me tell you something. Y'all think when them politicians be up there and something happened to a little baby and they do like this, well, you know. And they say, oh, he wiped a tear from his eyes. Oh, you know. Nah, he's acting emotional because that's what the expected response is. So when we look at things like this.
Well, we're sitting here waiting. Damn, sure it's fucking happening. You know why? It's impossible. Okay? It's the equivalent of a flea kicking an elephant's ass. That's what you're dealing with. We are sick and tired of all the crying and the whining and everything that happens. There has to be a race tied to it. Everybody's it doesn't do us any good to not be a racist, because we're going to be called racist anyway, right? And that's truth, and you know that. You know that's true. If I'm not a racist, it doesn't matter. You're a racist anyway. I never owned a slave, but I'm going to be looked at as a slave owner, so okay. I'm accepting what you're calling me. You know, Euro-American, that's me. That's right, I'm proud of my people. Okay, because my people were people who refused to be ruled. We came over here and started a free country. And you black people don't understand how fucking lucky you are that we are even here offering you to be fucking part of it in the fucking first place. To sit around and bitch and complain.
What you think about that? What you think about that? What you think about that? This is the mentality, family. This is the mentality of your children believe that we all going to be in this beautiful melting pot, because that's what they taught on TV. That's what they taught in school. And that's what these rappers are teaching. While the power brokers, while the political brokers are going to maintain dominance, control, power, ever they can. They're going to use people like Grandmaster Jay and NFAC to appear to the simple-minded people that is a form of liberation at hand. It is what it is. It is what it is. No, somebody say this hilarious because it's our land. He just told you he took it. He took it. He took it. See, we can't keep yelling that this is our land. We can't keep yelling that this is our land when, in fact, if I come and take your car, jack your car, it ain't your car no more until you take it back. Or it's theoretically your car, but I'm in possession of it. Now, what you gonna do about it? Now, what you gonna do about it? See, this is the part where we get a little bit emotionally charged on. This is the part where we get sensitive about. Where, you know, the toughest guy in the neighborhood that took something from somebody, I mean, that took something from somebody, ain't nobody want to mess with him. Man, he be tripping, man. Debo. Nobody want to mess with Debo. You see what I'm saying? But now we're looking at a situation where this European is literally expressing the thoughts that is really demonstrated daily. It is demonstrated daily. Don't be mad at him. Don't be mad at the blue-eyed devil. He is representing a thought of the power brokers. Listen to me. Again, about this Moorish stuff. People that file paperwork and all that stuff. People yelling, running around screaming black power and all that stuff. I get it. I support my black power people. You know what I'm saying? We need all of that. But let's look at it in real time. Who know the science of economics to build an Amazon amongst us? Who know the science? See, listen, Amazon has been built in our lifetime and is projected to take a lot of stuff out of business. Who know the science of retail economics to build the Amazon? We talking about we want to go to war? Who know the science of building a media conglomerate that can compete with the one that exists? We're talking about Hollywood. So we got Kathy Hughes owning 92Q here in Baltimore and channels all across the nation. We got what's his name? Tyler Perry with his own studios. You had many record companies that just let it go, or they still carry the same narrative that the European push, so it doesn't benefit us. You feel what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? We are in a position to compete by the way of our brothers and sisters who have came up, but who is ready to really compete. In our lifetime, Amazon has taken the world by storm. The only one that may stand a chance when the smoke clear is Walmart and maybe Target. Everybody else will be ran over. So the point that I'm making is when people start talking this tough talk, I don't take it all serious. Planning, organizing, and executing is the game changer. Whether you plan from a military strategic point of view, whether you plan from an economic point of view, and you better get your spirituality right. Because most people ain't got no backbone because they stopped believing in God. They still scared of God. They scared of themselves. They scared of the power that they possess. I agree with that, Knox. Most people are scared of God. But I'm telling you, while this European is telling you that Jesus is Lord, he will violate everything in the book to maintain control, to maintain power and dominance. And you can't get, oh, you cheating. And, oh, you cheating. Okay. And we own the natural resources. So what? And listen, Martin Luther King once made a statement. He says that if the laws are not, and I'm paraphrasing, if the laws are not consistent with the laws of God, they're made to be violated. Many people will follow a law that goes against their divine principle. This is how crazy we are. We will have a divine principle set before us, whether you are a Moorish American, whether you are a Christian, or whether you are a Muslim or a Muslim, whatever you call yourself. We will go with a law that violates our divine principle for the sake to say, I'm a law-abiding citizen. That's what Moors be doing. And you know, just like Lawrence Boris L said, we need to be like a union. You 1,000% correct. Let me say something, Lord. I think it's Lawrence. Let me say this. If you go to Home Depot any time of the week here in Baltimore, I'm gonna tell you what, the Home Depot Spanish speaking people waiting for work, they literally have an unspoken union. If you go to one side of the parking lot and you say, how much you charge? I need some help for the day. They say, well, what do you need help with? I need some drywall done. $125. No, I just got a little bit. I ain't got much. $125. Can you come and see the job? $125. All right, I'm cool. You go across the parking lot. Migo, try and get some drywall done. How much? I'm not really sure, but it's not that much. How much? Do you want to come see the job? $125. $125. Across the parking lot, no matter where you go in Home Depot, the Spanish-speaking worker is going to tell you in Baltimore, $125. You can leave that Home Depot and go to another Home Depot, and they're going to tell you $125 a day. This is facts. See, our principles must be raised to that. Whereas though, who blocked who? Our principle must be as that we understand what we in it for, and we set a stage. I mean, we set a gate, we gauge, we know what we want, we know what we're gonna get out of it, and we leave it like that. Either you pay the price or you don't. That's it. But guess what we'll do? Slave mentality will kick in. Man, give me $80. Give me 50. You got quarter? Got quarter? You see that now? Yeah. 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 We be like, you got a quarter? I do it for a quarter. What? Check this out.
Well, we're sitting here waiting. Damn, sure as fuck ain't happening. You know why? It's impossible. Okay, it's the equivalent of a flea kicking an elephant's ass.
He said that it's impossible for you to take over anything. He said it's impossible because you don't have the numbers. And that's not true. What you don't have is the organization. What you don't have is the plan. This is another thing when people say, we don't need no leader. We don't need no leader. Okay. Okay. Let me tell you something. We need as many leaders as we can find that ain't going to sell us out. We need as many leaders that we can find. We need a leader in every state to form like Voltron. We need an embassy, a leader in every state to form like Voltron and never get mad and turn back. Real talk. Anybody that tells you that we don't need a leader, I'm telling you, they stuck in slavery. They stuck in slavery. We do. But let me tell you the difference. Our type of leadership, and I'm telling you from a Moorish perspective, because what happened in this government called in the United States is a Republican form of government. And in this Republican form of government, they have mastered the concept of multiple leaders. So when you look at the president of the United States, right, he is the leader, so you think. In fact, he's just the figurehead. In fact, the office of the presidency is different from the president. So even if the president is out of there, the office of the presidency, see, you still thinking about the assistant president, the vice president. Nah, it's more layers than that. The office of the presidency. Listen to this. I'm about to explain this, UNOX. UNOX say that's why leadership won't work. The government will find a way to break them. We need to realize that we need to change. We need to change and do it. Listen to what I'm telling you. Leadership from a Moorish or African or indigenous perspective never was one person. It never was one person. Leadership is not singular. Say it with me. Leadership is not singular. That is not African. That is not indigenous. That is not our people. Leadership is people working together from one program. As Garvey said, one aim, one destiny, one God. We are all over the place. So, again, when you look at the presidency, you have the vice president and you got the office of the president. Many people don't even know what the office of the president does. They don't even know. Many people don't know what the office of the president does. You follow me? Somebody said I sound like JMJ like that. Hey, this is Moorish talk, brother. This is Moorish science. I'm talking more science right now. This is Moorish science. I've been talking this. Anybody know me? I've been talking this in the temple for a long time, brother. Way before JMJ came around 8 months ago. This is Moorish science. Now, back to my point. And thanks for the super chat. So listen. So in every state throughout the United States, they have the same replica of leadership. You have the governor, you have the mayor, and underneath all of these leaderships, they have councils. You understand what I'm saying? So my point, that not to dwell on that too hard, my point is that you have to get out of the European psychology of thinking that leadership is one person. Leadership is not one person. That's what the European wants you to think. Because when one rise up, ego will get to him. When one rise up, no matter how sincere he is, they can take his head off and then it dies. But the construct of true leadership is a conglomerate. It's an empire. It's an empire. Everybody leads off the same program and the same plan. One aim, one destiny, and one God. Oh, my bad, fed up. My bad, fed up. Fed up, got fed up that time. My bad, fed up. That's my bad. But listen to what I'm saying. What we need to do, and I'm going to be going around the country this year, what we need to do is we need to look at the best plan. And we need to align ourselves to the best plan. But the best plan will not be on Moorish World TV. It won't be on the internet. That is not where you're going to find the best plan. You're not going to find the best plan there. You know what I'm saying? You're really not. You're not going to find the best plan there on Moorish World TV. You understand what I'm saying? You're just not. If you think you're going to find the best plan on Moorish World TV, you're going to be sadly mistaken. You're going to be sadly mistaken. You're not going to find it on the internet. You follow what I'm saying? Like, all of this protesting, you know what I mean? All of that need to stop. And everybody need to regroup. Everybody need to regroup, take a deep breath, and begin to restructure how leadership look in our community. Because what I showed you here tonight is a prime example.
Alabama. So you always talk about this power. We're going to get it. This country is ran by predominantly white people. It always has been. Europeans came here, we did, and we took this fucking land. And you can say whatever you want to about how we did it. I don't give a shit. We took it. You didn't take it. It's not yours. And you were a very small percentage. Where do you know, what country do you know where the smallest majority of a population is going to decide for the rest of us the way things are going to be? You know what I'm saying? You're in a place where there's a very small percentage, 6.6% black men in America. And you're telling us how you're going to kick all our asses. Well, we're sitting here waiting. Damn, sure as fuck ain't happening. You know why? It's impossible.
See that? The point of that, family, that I had to play again is that's the mentality. That's the mentality of the power brokers. That's the mentality of the European politicians. That's the mentality of the European Union. That's the mentality of Europeans around the world. That's the mentality. That's the mentality around the world. Like, you can't get mad at him. He represents a mentality. This is why you should never got mad at Trump. For those who got mad at Trump, Trump represents a large amount of people that think like that. What it should do, it should trigger you to say, man, how do we change this dynamic that make our people subservient to everything that's handed to us? How do we change that? How do we change that? We can't change Trump. We can't change the blue-eyed devil. Matter of fact, you shouldn't even be interested. Change always starts with self. So when somebody called to organize, ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time when it comes to organizing. Ain't nobody got time. Guess why? Because we've been on this hamster wheel. We've been on this hamster wheel. Pay my rent, go to work. Pay my rent, get a hustle. Pay my mortgage, go to work. pay my rent, get a hustle. On this constant hamster wheel that we can't even make time for our own liberation. Think about it. That's another thing I knew about Grandmaster Jay. He just playing I knew it was a farce because you just can't tell people, everyday working people, to jump up, leave your home, jump in your car, let's go march in Atlanta this weekend. Okay, 6 months from now, let's go jump up and march in such and such this weekend. These people got children. These people got businesses. These people got jobs. How long is that going to last? That's why it's impractical. And people do not think practical. That's impractical. So once it becomes impractical, it don't becomes a viable solution for liberation. It's impractical. That, okay, everybody, come on, meet there with your black outfit and your guns. Meet me in Louisiana. A month later, okay, everybody with your black boots and your guns, meet me in Atlanta. Okay, everybody with your black boots and your guns, meet me in Minnesota. How long is that going to last? That shows you. This is why people need to learn to see through the facade. Better planning is, let me go around quietly. Let me go around quietly and set up I guess you would call it units around the country. Let's find a source of income, a viable source of income, so we can mobilize people. Let me get my face off of the camera so much. Let me get my face off of the camera and get me some viable sources of income to mobilize. This is how I know it was a farce. This is how I know it was a farce. And we said, brother said, how much was the GoFundMe for GMJ? You see? All of that could have built the small economy. All of that could have built the small economy. 200 racks. 200 racks. Could have started an amazing investment. But now, he's going to put it in his pocket, faking like he had some inflated legal bill. But I bet you he will not show the receipt. I bet you he won't show the receipt. You follow what I'm saying? Family, it's time for us to wake up. And so when you hear someone give a call, let's unite, stop taking it as, whether it's me or whether it's somebody else, stop taking it as they trying to recruit you into their religion. Stop trying to think that they trying to recruit you into their social organization. Ask them, what's your plan? You follow me? Ask them, what's the plan? And once you can find out the plan, then you make a decision. But at least come to a few gatherings and think about the plan. Because the time is at hand, family. They ain't playing with you. In a minute, you might not be able to go into the grocery store and get your ramen noodles without having your paperwork for the shot. I got my shot right here. Or go ahead, you can scan me. I got the chip. I got the chip. You can scan me. I gotta go get a new chip. Can I just get my bread? Can I get a loaf? Just one loaf? I gotta get my chip. I'm gonna get my chip. Family, I will be back on Saturday, family. You know what I'm saying? I will be back on Saturday, family. You know what I mean? I hope y'all understood what this broadcast was about. I appreciate y'all, family. Let me ask you, do y'all really understand what this broadcast was about? Press 1. It's very simple. If I get 1, 2, then I'm gonna just say what it's about one more time. You know what I'm saying? Black Warrior Spirit, I don't think we're gonna have a ceasefire by asking for it. I don't think we're gonna have that. I think we're gonna have to. I'm gonna unblock Jeff Fraser. I can't do it now, and I gotta wait till I come down. So Angela Mitchell said, not really. So if you've seen the show from the beginning, Angela Mitchell, it's a European called the Blue-Eyed Devil. He has a YouTube channel called the Blue-Eyed Devil, and he was really expressing his position of being a European in America or a so-called white person in America, and he's saying that you can cry all you want. They took this land, and you ain't in a position to take it back. So stop your crying. You lucky that they allow you in this land that they took. So stop your crying. Nobody cares about your privileges, and let's keep it moving. That's what he say. So my thing is, don't get mad at Blue-Eyed Devil. My thing is just bear in mind that this is the real mentality of the power brokers. This is the real mentality of the Bill Gates. This is the real mentality of the European politicians, of the economic slavery or slaveholders, those who that has monopolized all the resources. This is the real mentality. So when you see a European such as the Blue-Eyed Devil say something like that, don't get mad. Don't get mad at him. Understand that he's telling you the truth of what is represented in this country. Now it's up to you, without emotions, figure out a plan to get this iron hand of oppression off your neck. That's what it is. It's up to you now. He told you what it is. You should be thankful for the Blue-Eyed Devil. Yeah, you should be thankful. Because Joe Biden ain't going to tell you that. Although he feels that way. He ain't going to tell you that. I'm pretty sure he feels that way deep down inside. Some type of, only a person that feels that way would say, you ain't really black if you don't vote for me. What type is that? Europeans say something like that. So we need the Blue-Eyed Devil around. I invited the Blue-Eyed Devil to come on to the channel. I hope he will accept. I sent him my email, and I would love for him to come on the channel and have a dialogue and family. And again, if he decides to come on the channel, I ask that you be the respectful person that you are. You feel me? You be the respectful person that you are, so we can hear from him the position of those who has been in control and in power for over 2,000 years. So with that being said, family, I salute y'all. I most likely will see y'all on Saturday. And on Saturday, let me see what Saturday is. I think Saturday is the 2nd. So on Saturday, family, we're going into some clips of the past year. I'm gonna have a bunch of clips for the past year. It's gonna be pretty funny. It's gonna be pretty funny. So, like that there. Like that there. I hope y'all hit the Cash App. I know y'all paid y'all cell phone bill. I know y'all paid y'all Comcast bill. Now pay your Moorish World TV bill. DNF Academy. DNF Academy. Always DMF Academy. Go into the academy. Umar Johnson. Salute, family. Peace and love, family. I got you, William Robinson. I'm going to be releasing. Be on the Saturday show. Be on the Saturday show, William Robinson. I'm going to be releasing